Hey there, and welcome to No Recipe Required. Today I've got a recipe for you for a stuffed zucchini. The recipe is totally vegetarian, and it's one of those ones that I go to when I'm frankly looking to get more vegetables in my diet, which I kind of need, I gotta say. And it's recipes like this that kind of transform the vegetable, make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more exciting, certainly a lot more flavorful, that get me excited about it and get me eating more vegetables. Let's go ahead and show you how to do it. Okay, for our stuffed zucchini, we're going to cook our zucchinis whole. I've got a little kind of baby zucchini, maybe 7-8 inches long. I'm just going to drop it into a bowl or a pot of room temperature water and bring it up to a simmer and let it simmer for probably 15 minutes or so until it's nice and knife tender. We're going to then slice it in half, scoop out the inside, but you really got to get it cooked like this to make that easier. Okay, after 10 or 15 minutes or so, our squash or our zucchini is going to be nice and tender. I'm just going to take it, turn off the heat. I'm actually going to dunk it in cold water, kind of to stop the cooking process, but frankly make it a little bit easier for us to handle. This is going to be the first step in pulling the stuffing out. While we work on our zucchini, scraping the insides out and making our boats, we can get going on our stuffing. I've got a pan here I just put on the heat. I'm going to add just a touch of olive oil to help this bacon get started, and I'm going to render off the bacon until it gets nice and crispy. Okay, so I've got our zucchini here that we cooked down until it was just tender. I'm going to remove the two ends, top and bottom, and then just slice it right down the center. Now, sometimes you'll see they have quite a bit of seed in there. We don't particularly want the seeds, so to scrape them out, I'm going to use a spoon and just kind of go down one side of the seeds. They come out pretty easily. You're kind of cutting in and through a little bit, and then flip it around and just do the other side. And then they will just pop out. Now I'm being careful not to go through the bottom of the zucchini. The seeds themselves I don't really want, so I'm just going to take those and toss them off. If there were no seeds in there, I would follow this exact same procedure. I would just be taking off the the flesh itself, and I'm going to work all the way down the zucchini. Now if I get the flesh, once the seeds are gone, I want that little bit of flesh because we're just going to add that to our stuffing, might as well. And once you get them nice and cleaned out like that, we essentially have our boats, and I'm going to come back and just fill that with our stuffing. Okay, once the bacon for our stuffing is cooked off, I'm going to add probably a 1/4 cup of onion there, and just let that saute until it gets nice and translucent. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. The drippings are enough oil in there for me, so I'm just going to leave that be. And once they cook down, we're going to come back, add our final few ingredients for our stuffing. After our onions and garlic have cooked down, onions have become translucent, I'm just going to add in a little bit of flesh that we scooped out of the zucchini. Remember, almost all of mine were seeds, but if I had more, I'd absolutely add it. I'm going to also add a good kind of pinch, maybe 2-3 pinches of rosemary. You can kind of use any herb you want in this dish, anything that catches your fancy or you like. It's all going to be quite tasty. And then I've got a good handful of bread. Almost by volume, about the same amount of bread as we had as onions. I'm going to season this, and I'm just going to let it all kind of cook down together. The bread will get nice and soft, soak up all that oil, flavors will mix, and then we're going to come back, add a little, we're going to let it cool, then we're going to come back, add a little cheese to our stuffing. Okay, so here's my stuffing as it stands off the stove. I just let it cool down for about 15 minutes to where it is a temperature I can handle it. And then I'm going to add in some cheddar cheese, nice sharp cheddar cheese, to give it some tanginess and of course some deliciousness. By the way, I tasted it before I did this. You can do it after you have the cheese, no problem. for seasoning, salt and pepper. You want to make sure it's got the right amount for you. And then once this is just kind of mixed thoroughly together and you put the jumpers back in there, we're going to take our zucchini, just hold it in your hand there, and then we're going to stuff the little boat. I like to pack it in a little bit, not too tight. You know, you're not trying to make like a hard mound or anything like that. You're going to lose a little bit, no problem. You just scoop it right back up, use it again. And I'm going to lay these on a baking sheet lined with aluminum foil, and we are going to bake them off. They don't take long to cook, and we're going to go really high temperature. Actually, I'll probably just put these under the broiler because we just got to reheat the zucchini itself. And I want to get the cheese melted and the top of this crust, top of the stuffing, nice and crispy. Okay, so I preheated my oven to about 450 degrees, and then I actually just turned on the broiler. I'm just going to put these on a little baking dish. Anything is fine, you know, aluminum foil, pan, whatever you got, absolutely fine. I'm going to put these in. They're going to take about 7 or 8 minutes with that broiler on to get nice and hot. Good golden brown crust. Okay, so let's go ahead and serve up our stuffed zucchini. I just pulled it right out of the oven, nice and golden brown on top there. Serving it with a little bit of meatloaf and mashed potatoes. Makes an awesome vegetable side dish. And I will see you next time on No Recipe Required.